Nourishing Nature ASMR and oils. Hello everybody and welcome to Nourishing Nature. I'm here to nourish your soul, and this evening's video is inspired by the autumnal weather that we've been experiencing today. I can really feel a change in the seasons, and it's beautiful to see as the leaves begin to change colour. Of course, the evenings grow darker here as well, but I like to embrace the coziness. I live in Denmark, so we have the concept of hygge, which you may have heard of. If you'd like to hear more about the Danish hygge and how things are hyggelig, then let me know, and perhaps I can do a video on that. But I really felt a sense of, the weather's changing. You may be able to hear the wind outside. The last couple of days have been very, very strong with respect to the wind. And I was on the beach today. I was also on the beach under Thursday's full moon, swimming. It was beautiful, but very windy and very wavy. And I was on the beach today because this video is inspired by two friends of mine, one of whom had an art exhibition today on the beach, not actually on the beach, but in a building at the beach. It was a little bit too windy to be outdoors for an art exhibition. And another friend of mine who reached out because she was feeling lonely today. She was feeling a deep sense of loneliness. And I thought that this, for me, ASMR is a way to connect with people all around the world in a way that's meaningful, hopefully to them and to me. So if this is meaningful to you, that's fantastic. I'm really happy to be here preparing this content for you, as you know. If you've watched any of my other videos, I'm really excited to be doing this because ASMR has brought me so much personally that I would like to be able to think that I could bring just a little bit of what I've received and give it back to the world. So when my friend reached out and told me that she was feeling lonely, I thought that's really showing trust in me, which I really appreciate. Really showing her own vulnerability and authenticity, and in that way opening herself up to receive, actually, because I would like to be able to be there for her despite being in a different country. Sometimes it's the little things that can mean the most. And I felt a deep sense of connection today with the sea, with nature, with the autumnal weather, as I say. So for me, I thought I would bring a little bit of that autumnal feeling into my video today, and hopefully it can be maybe a comfort, or at least provide some form of connection for people out there, perhaps who don't have so much human contact at the moment, or maybe ever, or perhaps who don't have such a connection to nature. Maybe they don't live close to the ocean like I do. That's another idea I have for a video, an ocean video, bringing in the ocean waves in some way. I just love the waves, the repetitiveness of the waves coming up the shore. That's one thing we can always rely on in this very uncertain world we're living in right now. The waves will keep on lapping at the shore. They'll keep on, sometimes stronger, sometimes less so. But we can always rely on the waves. That's a constant in an ever-changing world. We can usually rely on the seasons as well. We don't always know when the seasons are going to change. And this year in Denmark, where I live, I feel it was bang on the 1st of October that we felt the first signs of autumn. September was relatively warm and sunny and beautiful actually. And in fact, we still have beautiful tall sunflowers in our garden and many other beautiful flowers and plants growing and thriving. But there's been a definite change. So in honour of that change, I've chosen a diffuser blend tonight called Apple Pie. So this is one that you can not just put in your diffuser, but you can actually put in your apple pie if you're using a really great quality essential oil like the ones that I use from doTerra. Then you could even cook with these essential oils if you don't have the herbs and spices in your cupboard. But we're going to start off with the beautiful ginger. Ginger is one of my favourite oils. It's so warming. Oh, I just love it in hot chocolate or, gingerbread, sweets and desserts. And in the diffuser, it's really warming. It's also good in coffee. I don't really drink coffee myself, but you can put it in that too. So we're going for 2 drops tonight. 1, 2. That was 2 drops. Can you hear the wind? I hope it's not too disturbing. So that was the ginger. This is the cinnamon bark. Can we focus on that one? Perhaps not. Cinnamon bark. This is another hot oil. A lot of the spicy oils that we would tend to consume as spices as well are what we call hot oils. So we have to be careful if we get them on our skin. We would need to dilute them, otherwise they may cause an itching, tingling or burning sensation. But we can just dilute them in a carrier oil and prevent that. And if we ever get them accidentally on our skin, we can just apply a carrier oil, coconut oil for example, over the top. Olive oil, whatever you have in your kitchen cupboard. So we need 2 drops of cinnamon as well. It's a little slower to come out, this one. Maybe I need a new cinnamon soon. Try and tap the bottom. So I'm not sure how many drops that was in the end, or if indeed any came out as well, but we'll just accept that that's what's meant to be tonight. There's quite a lot in there actually. I'm not sure. Maybe the end just got a little. Oh, there we go. Now we've got plenty of cinnamon to warm up this autumn evening. And finally I'm going to put 2 drops of clove bud into my diffuser mix. 1, 2, 3. So I apologise for that noise there. It's the wind blowing quite loudly outside. But this is an autumnal video, so all about autumn, and we all know wind is almost synonymous with autumn. So hopefully you'll forgive me that. And we'll just turn on the diffuser. Cool steam or mist coming out. Delicious. Good enough to eat. Oh, I wish you could smell this. Oh, And as I say, I'm very blessed in my garden. I have what I consider to be a beautiful garden, full of abundant produce. And so I had to bring this apple along to go with my apple pie diffuser blend. Cinnamon, clove and ginger. I didn't mention so much about the other two oils, but clove is one that is great for oral health as well. So again, if you have a good quality clove, you can use it on your toothbrush or in a mouthwash. And for flavouring desserts, of course, as well, like this apple pie. I just realised this apple is really nice to tap on with my fingertips. I personally find that really relaxing. How about you? Oh, I nearly forgot to mention, I thought it was a little bit apt to wear a top with autumnal coloured leaves on, and I found this necklace that I've had since I was a teenager. And the necklace has, as you can see, the different leaves in the reddy brown colours. I have some real leaves from my garden to show you later, but I just wanted to first of all touch on the exhibition that I was at today, because this is an exhibition by a good friend of mine, and this is her flyer, and I was going to just trace the letters S, E, A, C, S, P, A, C, E, C, space, by my friend Jane Upward. You can find her on Facebook at Art by Jane, or on Instagram at Jane_Upward. And this is one of her fantastic pictures, I'm sure you'll agree. And another one. And this one. And of course the full one that you can see. She's been inspired by Bellevue Beach at Klampenborg, and this is the Bellevue Tower that you can see when you're at the beach. And of course the fantastic thing was that's where the exhibition was shown today, in a building at the beach, so we could really see what had inspired Jane. And I didn't realise, even though she's a very good friend of mine, I didn't realise that she doesn't paint with brushes very often. She loves to get her fingers into the paint, and she paints with fins or flippers, like we use when we're snorkeling or scuba diving, you know, these ones. Fantastic. I can see it in some of the, I don't know if you can see it here, but in some of the textures of the pictures. Hang on. You can see her art is very tactile. Of course it's art, so I didn't touch it, but I wanted to just run my fingers across it. I really had a desire to just feel the paint on the canvas. And another thing that she does, which is just brilliant, she doesn't necessarily paint on canvas. But for example, a mirror in her home was broken and the person apologised and she said it's fine. She removed all the glass very carefully and then made the mirror into a painting and a piece of art, basically. So she's upcycling as well. And yeah, I was really inspired. I took my children to see it as well, because I feel that when people bring their passions into reality, it's just beautiful. So, sea, space. And one of my favourite works of art of hers that I may have to purchase for my own wall was one called Sea Silk. And to me, it just inspired space and peace, like my eyes could just rest on the horizon. There was also one, I believe, called Dark and Stormy. For any of you that drink beer, that may remind you of a beer. Another one was called Frustrated. But they were beautiful in their own way, each and every one. So, thank you to Jane. She doesn't know that she inspired this video today. But yeah, thank you for sharing your passion with the world. So beautiful. And yes, then to my friend as well, thank you for confiding in me and sharing that what you described is a deep feeling of loneliness. That also inspired me to make this video tonight, because my connection with nature can sometimes give me peace and solitude. However, at different times in life we all feel lonely, and there's actually nothing wrong with feeling lonely. It's just a feeling, but it's an uncomfortable feeling that we don't like. And it's important to reach out and connect to people. We're not meant to live alone. We're a social species. And at the moment, there's a lot of barriers in different places, in different ways, blocking us from connecting with each other. But I would really love to connect with as many people as possible through this video. So if you like it, if you're enjoying it, go on, give me that thumbs up. And maybe even subscribe. I'd love to have you. But I have been, well, before I even got to my garden, actually, on the way home from the exhibition, look what me and my daughters found. Yay! Conkers. We call them conkers. Is the real name horse chestnuts? I can never remember. I think it is horse chestnuts, but we call them conkers. I'll come back to this one in a minute, but I just thought, oops, yeah, this is great for tapping on actually. And I love this sound too. My nan gave me this bowl and I love it. Underneath is kind of textured. Can you see that? So it has a slightly different sound to the top, which is smooth. and the conkers. I just love the sounds they make. It's a natural sound. Did you used to play conkers when you were younger? Did you let them dry out and tie them to 2 pieces of string and then play against your friend to bash them together? See whose conker broke first. I also remember making conker animals by putting matchsticks in the legs and making a horse or a giraffe. How about if I get some smaller ones? I have 4 smaller ones here. I have 4 smaller ones here. That's quite fun. I'm going to try with 6. I'm trying not to drop them because I think that will be quite loud. Put them back in my bowl. That's not too loud. And then I have this one that's not even out of its shell properly yet. Can you see? This is quite a good sound too. I like that sound. But yes, this one hasn't even popped out yet. Isn't it cute? Should we see it pop out? That one comes off there. It's all soft inside. That lovely soft feeling. There it is. All super shiny. Ready to come out into the world. Just pull it back here. And out it pops. Perfect. Conker. Oh, I love the feel of them in my hands. I sometimes have one in my pocket. I just like to hold on to them sometimes. A little bit like having a crystal in my pocket or something. Just reminding me of connection with nature and with Mother Earth. Grounding. Calming. That one may have to go in my pocket for later. So, I also found some other beautiful, I believe beautiful things in my garden. For example, this one, this leaf, which is just turning, as you can see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leaves on this climbing plant. I'm not even sure of the name. I've got 2 of them here. Perfect in their imperfections. Just turning, changing colour. I did wonder if I could somehow do this, if it would be relaxing. What about if I put 2 baby leaves on these beautiful? I may see if my daughter wants to press these in her flower press. They're just so pretty, the colour is amazing. And how does this work if I bring these to the camera? Maybe if I sit more centrally, but I could also waft the diffuser steam with them. Oh, this smells amazing, by the way. Perfect for those autumn evenings. What about the 2 together? And I found these 2 from different plants. Again, perfect in their imperfection, changing colour slightly as you can see. Spines of the leaf going up the side like this. This is quite a thick leaf. Quite robust. And this one is much more flimsy. You can see I can still fold it and bend it. See the spine of the leaf there. And then this one is the same plant as this one, but a little bit, you can see this is still a little bit green. This one is a little bit further along in colour. I think this one is going to crackle. And another red coloured leaf here. Another beautiful bright red. A little bit like the leaf on my top maybe. Not quite. How is it to have leaves floating down towards you? You can pretend they're floating down from the tree. This one is very mottled green and yellow. I love this because of the colours. You can see it's still very, very green in parts, and then brown at the edge here, and very yellow too. And the last leaf I have for you today doesn't have 5 leaves, but 1, 2, 3. I just thought this one was also very pretty. I can imagine this floating down from the tree as well. And this one floating down. Floating down. from a hypnotherapy perspective, because I am a hypnotherapist as well, I think of floating down, drifting down into a deep sleep. Floating down and drifting down into a deep sleep. Floating down, even further down, and drifting off into a deep sleep, if it's appropriate for you to do so. I actually have one more thing I was going to show you today though, if you're still awake and still with me. And if you're not still awake, I'm not offended. I'm very happy that you've been able to drift off into a restful and nourishing night's sleep. But first of all, before I show you the next thing and the last thing I want to show you today, I just need to remove my conkers because I need my bowl. I'm just trying to do this ever so quietly. Not to make a big noise. Do you remember I said we had sunflowers still standing tall and proud and shining their bright, beautiful yellow petals in our garden? Well, some of our sunflowers are finished, and a few of them had very big heads. But this one has a medium-sized head, and we took it off the sunflower and we've been drying it for a couple of days. And I thought it could be fun to just release the seeds. There's so many seeds here. And most of them have gone stripy black and white, which means they're ready to harvest. You can see the back of the sunflower has lost most of its green. Obviously the yellow petals fell a long time ago. But I could see it was ready to take off the stem, because most of the seeds are black and white. So I'm going to see if I can do this now. I need to peel back and release the seeds like this, and I hope they won't make too much noise. See, this is one of them. Is it going to focus on it? Maybe. So we can either save these seeds to replant them for next year, or we can toast them and eat them, or shell them and eat them. And actually we like seeds on our breakfast cereal, on our porridge oats. My children and I, we eat porridge oats most days. And the seeds just give it a little extra texture. So, can you hear that? As they fall. I'm going to try to move the camera down and see if it's possible for you to watch the seeds falling. And now I'm going to see if we can remove some more of the seeds from the sunflower head. I have a few here already that I did a moment ago, but I think it would be fun to watch together. So I'm just going to move everything back a little bit. Let's move the oils over here. There's that beautiful sound again. here we go. Just easing the seeds out. How are we going? Sort out some of the husk later. Now they're spraying everywhere. Wow, look at all these beautiful seeds. The abundance of nature. This is just one of our sunflowers. I was also thinking it would be great to send some to family and friends in case they want to plant their own sunflowers next year. Because we do have a lot. Let's see if I can get some of the centre ones out. We have family and friends in different parts of the world, so it's always nice to think of things that are thoughtful gifts that we can send, that are easy to post. And I'm pretty sure that sunflower seeds are not going to break in the post. They're quite strong, and there's quite a lot of them. So some of these ones in the middle are not so good. But we had to take it down before the birds came and ate it all. We will leave some out in the winter as well. This is great, the abundance of nature. We have enough for ourselves to eat some and to plant some, enough for the birds, and maybe enough for the girls to send some to their cousins abroad. So that was most of the sunflowers. You can see it's nearly all of them. Just a few there that I can get in a moment. Yeah. The ones that are left are actually very soft in the middle. They didn't do so well, maybe. The ones that are left are not the strong ones, I mean. So, the ones that are in here eyes are looking good. A little bit of husk I need to remove. But all in all, I'm happy with that harvest. So, thank you for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to share part of the experience of my day with you, to share the cosy hygge of an autumn evening here in Denmark. If it's time for you to get on with the rest of your day, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope you'll connect with me again soon. If it's time for you to drift off to sleep now, I hope you drift into a wonderfully deep and restorative, regenerative, nourishing night's sleep. Good night. Sleep tight, wherever you are.